So there are the hole cutters, and we've got the components in there. And so let's just hide everything. Scan bodies. Okay, we need those. We need these implant abutments. Okay, so and we need teeth, of course. So I don't know whether I've got teeth in here. Let's just have a look. Teeth? No, there's no teeth. So I'm going to go into the wax up. Ah, sorry, press the wrong button. Okay, we're going to import teeth. Now we're working with solid closed teeth as opposed to open teeth. I'll choose a few teeth. So I'll just take these 6, delete the unwanted, select the teeth, and I'll just plonk them in there. Okay. So I don't have an upper for this, and this is just basic to demonstrate what's what. Okay, I'll scale this a bit, use a G key and the R key to position it. And just assuming this is the position that we are satisfied with and it would be good in our occlusion and everything. And now we need to attach these. So in the crown module, we'll first put these into the tooth collection because that will remesh the teeth. Currently the mesh looks like this. We need a standard tooth mesh with all of our crown and bridge work, and this sort of standardizes it. So we've got a mesh. We don't really lose too much surface texture. It's pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to hide these. I'm going to put this into the working model collection as we usually do. And then we're going to select these little abutments and we're going to go down to the implant section. Okay,
So,
which
Michael,
is over here.
just before you do that, those are the we call them abutment sleeves. They are provided by the implant company. They fit over the actual abutment, so that actually creates the inner fitting surface for the implant crown. They are just a thin mesh shell, essentially. So, and they are offset by the implant company. It's usually about 15 microns. So yeah, that's a good demonstration. And this one actually includes the cavity for the screw, the head of the screw. So some of them differ, but well, the demonstrations by using this one here.
Actually, maybe I should import a screw just to demonstrate what it looks like.
Okay. Yeah.
But I don't have the desk screw, so I'll just use a Medentika screw just for an example. So that that's in the abutment library, isn't it, Wolf?
Yeah. Yeah. It is.
Um, that's multi-unit, is it?
That's correct.
Multi-unit, and we're looking for screws.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's grab this screw, append it in the scene, so that becomes our little this is our destination, and that's the one that matches the destination. Okay, but now I see that screw is a little bit smaller. It's 2.15. So I think that cavity is 2.5.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's just put it to. So this is basically what it looks like. This isn't the screw itself. It would be probably narrower than this. It wouldn't be as high.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's a good indication nevertheless how this works. Okay, so I'll hide the screw. Hide. Okay, so Wolf, we're going to take these abutments, and in the crown module, we're going to go to the implant section. Here, this is the implant section. And then we're going to select one at a time. And this creates like a layer. And it's 0.6 millimeters in thickness, but we can change it. If it's too thin for you guys, make it thicker or thinner or whatever. So this it's like a safety zone, but it gets included in the actual tooth mesh. Okay, so we're going to accept this. Perfect. Okay, and that will then create our screw hole cutter as well. So let's just do this for each and every one.
So essentially, this makes like an assembly of that layer, that blue transparent layer, which we call a tube, and the whole cutter as such, which is a gray translucent cylinder that pops out the top.
Yeah, so this is a basic foundation. And so, okay, let's expose the teeth and then we'll just join them up. Okay, so here we go. Um, okay, we can see that the geometry is a little bit like this. I mean, if we would join it up like that, it works. But of course, we would like to have a good, like a good flow. Like here, for example, we see this edge there. We don't really want that. So I'm going to go in edit mode, take the magnet tool off, and just move that mesh in there like that. And then with the magnet tool on, we can just we can just sort of get a better emergence profile like this.
So, Michael, that magnet tool is really, if you activate the magnet, the mesh it will kind of stick to the underlying surface, won't it?
It'll stick to anything but that's behind it.
Okay. So if you don't want it to stick, you just turn it off, and then you can freely move the mesh away.
Yeah, true.
Mm, mm.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll generate this implant fixture. Okay,
Is this where the
so
drum
that,
rolls go, Michael?
yeah, so that cuts it. I didn't hear the drum roll though. Next time you can play.
I think I need something in the background. I don't know if Zoom has that, so we can put in special effects.
Yeah.
It might
So
make you
okay,
nervous.
so we're going to do the same here, like that, like this. We can move that in a little bit. So it's actually very quick and efficient. There's nothing to it. So we'll just take this a little bit like that and just move this tooth over, stretch it like a sock over a foot. All right, so we're going to generate this implant as well. Okay, so there we go. This is all. So this is what it looks like on the inside. Okay, so we've got this. And there's no hole going through yet because we haven't punched a hole through it. Now this one's interesting. Sometimes we have implants that sort of go a little bit on top of the gum. We don't want it to be ridge lap itself, but yeah, so let's see how this handles this one over here. We're going to do exactly the same thing. Edit mesh. I'm going to pull this out like this, like that. Yeah. And we're going to join that up as well. Generate fixture. All right, so that's also joined it up neatly and nicely. Of course, if we wanted to then smooth it down inside of the tissue, and it may be like if you want it to be a little bit tighter or looser or whatever, we would then inflate or deflate this. Okay, so we can either inflate it, or if we want it completely to be free of the gum, we would then push it inwards like this. Okay, like something like that. Or you can push it out. Here we may choose to pull it out a little bit. So we can do quite a lot of things. Okay, let's just bulge it out a bit. Okay, and then exit. Okay, and then we've got a three-step approach to this as well. So I'll just demonstrate. But we need that for hybrid dentures, not so much for this one. Okay, so we're going to
So,
do
Michael,
the
that
same.
three-step approach, is that really for when the tooth alignment is kind of out of sync with the implant? So the implant could be quite located far away. Is that used for that? That's the three-step approach.
No, it's like when we have tissue, a lot of tissue overlapping the gum, to actually cut it around it. I could possibly demonstrate. Maybe we should demonstrate and put that one to the test. Yeah.
So
So what
it's
I'll do is
okay.
sorry, what did you want to say?
So essentially, we are predetermining where to cut the tooth so that it then merges onto the abutment sleeve. Is that correct?
Yeah, something like that. So I'll just demonstrate, you know, with gum, with tissue, we always have an open tooth library. So I'm going to go to the wax up module and bring up hollow teeth. Okay. And we're going to choose this canine. So this is typical if we do it, if we do like a hybrid denture or something, all on four or something like that. So I'll take that one and we'll bring this down like that. And assuming we want to add tissue now, gum or something, we place that in the wax up module. So we're going to go into the wax up, which we are, the pink section over there, and we're going to create some gum. Okay, here's my tissue. We're going to scale this down a little bit because it's a little bit big, something like that. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to join the gum to the implant, Wolf.
Yeah.
So, okay, so this is probably where we use the three-step approach. So what we'll do is we'll voxel remesh this one, apply that one, and then what we're going to do is I'll just put it into the section just to make sure this works. We'll just put it in there. Of course, it's changed color, but that doesn't matter
You've made
now.
it, you put it into the working models collection instead of the tooth collection.
Oh, yes, you're right. You're 100% correct. I don't actually think we need to do that, but it's good that you did notice this, which is good, because now we've got a consistent mesh structure. All right, so let's go to the three-step approach and just see if this works or not. Okay, so we're going to propose a border. Okay. Okay, so this gives us a border proposal. Yeah, okay. And this border we can then move to where we think it should be.
Hey, can you go
So
into transparent mode so we can kind of see where the abutment is? Oh yeah, there you can see it.
yeah, so you can picture if we have a tissue coming all the way, just say these two were fused, just say the lateral and that one was fused together. Maybe
Yeah.
we can fuse it to, maybe we should try and fuse it together. I'll just go a step back. Wolfgang, I'm winging this here tonight.
Yes, like if you get this right, you're my hero, Michael.
Well,
Very
let's
daring
not
stuff.
let's not talk too let's not talk too soon. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just join the two up. So okay, for this one, I'll just go to the bull tools and unify this. Okay, union like that. Okay, so this means that it's one unit. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to propose that tooth, that line. Okay, so we're going to go up here and we're going to go here at this one, propose border. Okay. All right, so you can see how how handy this would then be, because then we can then set where this is going to trim it. Okay, let's just see if this works. Okay, cut mesh. All right, yep, it's worked, I think. And we're going to then complete it. Yep, it's good.
Wow. Okay.
And then of course we would smooth that down.
Respect, eh?
smooth that down. So you see, there's a lot we can do with this. It's just tremendous, absolutely tremendous.
So this would
Okay,
be ideal for like hybrid dentures, wouldn't it?
correct,
Mm.
Wolf. That's
Yeah.
correct. Now, okay, we would need to cut holes in these things, and of course we would want to fuse them up
Do
as
you do
well.
the bridge connectors before you do the holes, or can you do the holes first? I'd probably think do the connectors first.
That tooth is on its lonesome. It can be glued in. Maybe that could be something, I don't know. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to the bridge section and bridge this up, bridges, and we're going to take these two and we're going to form this as a unit, and then we're going to weld them together. Okay.
So this
The
has
pink thing,
unified it, has it?
no, it's just linked it. It hasn't
Okay.
unified itself. So here, what we would then do is we can then use this welding feature,
Yeah, I
and
love
then
that welding feature. It's awesome. It's like wax, eh? Flowing wax over the area.
yeah, now the pin structure is a safety mechanism. Okay. It's just so that you know when if it does extend beyond, you know, internal into this crown, like, you know, you can imagine this could actually go inside of it. So this will, the pink one will just cut it out. You know, it's a
Geez,
safe.
Michael, your waxing skills, eh? I don't know so much.
Well, if it's years of with the wax knife, I mean, you can imagine all those dentures.
Oh, wow. All
Okay,
right.
so
I
we've
hope you can
fused that.
smooth that.
Yes, we can smooth that down a little bit. That's not a problem. Okay, smooth that. So okay, I've just been winging it, so but it's all good. Okay. Okay. So if we wanted to cut a hole, we then select this, and then we would then go to our hole cutter, which is select fixtures and cut hole, and that should then cut a hole in this one. But we need to understand that when we're making holes, is that the holes have to be done correctly. So this isn't done correctly. We've just cut it out.
Can you demonstrate it with the other bridge?
On this side, I can demonstrate it on this side. So we're going to just screw holes. All right. So what I'll do is I'll take this one away. We'll just do these two for now, or this one here. So hide.
Yeah, just show us how to do the actual screw hole and maybe an angled one if you can, because that is very interesting.
I'll do that with the other one, Wolf.
Okay.
Okay, so in this one, for example, we can't just cut a hole straight through this into this abutment, because the screw itself will then not have anything to catch it. So here what we're seeing is this, we need this to be intact. Okay, so our screw hole cannot just cut straight through it. So we have to be very vigilant in how we're designing these, because it's
Of course,
it's
Michael, this is a duplicate of a copy of the abutment sleeve. You wouldn't see that. You would see the crown as such and the internal connection, won't you?
yeah, Wolf, that's a good point, and maybe we should demonstrate
Rather
with the
demonstrate, just hide
crown.
that, just so it's not so confusing, because you'll actually in transparent, you'll see the interface, the connection interface there, the hollow cavity.
We'll just give this one a little bit of a, okay. Yes, so this is a hollow cavity that we see, and this hole cutter, we cannot just cut a hole through there. So we actually have to place this cutter round about here, okay? And then we cut it.
Yeah.
and we take this and we cut it. Okay, we're going to go down to our implant one here. We cut the hole. Okay, there we go. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
and there's our screw, and that screw can then just pop out of here.
Yeah.
And if we wanted to smooth it, that should be protected. Smooth, it's protected. So you see, we can smooth it. Nothing will happen to our hole.
That's good. That's good.
That's super cool. Absolutely
Oh,
super
that
cool.
doesn't look too difficult.
It's base. Once you understand the concept of it, it's very easy. Let's go to another one with a bit of an angle. Okay. So we're going to look at this one over here, Medentica. But now I need to just align it. So if you can just bear with me, so we can just align this, because I haven't done this. So for those of you that don't know how this works, it would be quite interesting to see how this works. So this is a Medentica, and we're going to choose the analogs in the scan body. Scan bodies and the analogs. And this is a Neos. It's not a Neos, it's a Straumann N series. So we're going to select the second one. It's a 4.8 millimeter. We're going to take this one, and then we're going to go in transparent mode, select this, use the B key, not the Alt B, the B key, yeah, and we're going to link that, and then we're going to flip that over. And then, of course, we need to go into the alignment module. This becomes the object moving, and that becomes a destination. Then what we're going to do is we're going to place a few landmarks. So we're going to say, okay, let's put one over there, one there, one there, one there, and one there. Enter. Okay, next one, select, place some landmarks. And now please guys, get the order correct. Okay, so if you don't get the order correct, it's not going to align correct. Okay, there and there. Enter, perfect, and select both and perform initial and then perform ICP. Okay. All right, so now that that's done, we're going to go into the transparent mode in the components. Second menu. Here we're going to select the model being cut, and that puts us into transparent mode. We're briefly going to select our what you call it, analog sleeve,
Yeah.
edit this, and we're going to use the arrow to bring our cutting tool above surface. Okay, now this is what it should look like. And then what we're going to do is we're going to apply and clean that, and that's going to finish the model. Okay, so our model is finished. So that's the scan body, and that's the component, and that's the hole cutter. Now, always never forget to lock it, okay? And that will remove the parent, because if you don't do that and you delete this scan body, what happens is these will flip back to the center of Blender, and all of this work was for nothing, unless you don't delete it, but
You
it
can
would
just
be
hide it,
advisable.
can't you?
You can, but as like a habit, you should just click
Lock
on
it.
lock.
Mm.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Now we need an abutment. Okay. We're going to go back into the asset manager. We're going to go to our Medentica abutments. We're going to choose the Straumann N series, and that one was a 4.8. And we're going to choose an angle. Now these are the angled ones.
Yeah, I think they're
Okay.
just awesome. Hey, absolutely
Let's
awesome.
let's choose the angled one. And what we're going to do is we're going to go back into transparent mode like this. We're going to choose that one, and then we're going to B key, link it, and link abutment assembly. And then we can flip it around, but we don't have to. This is our destination object, and this is the match position to destination. So it's flipped it straight into where it should be. But you guys can see that the angle is not in the correct direction. So if I hide this, you can see this one should be on the other side, on the palatal side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the items here, and we're going to move this on the Z direction, the blue arrow is the Z. We're going to move this by 180 degrees. Okay, so it's flipped it round by 180 degrees. This is where we'd like to have this angle. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're back to square one where we started in the other module. So I'm going to go to the wax up module and import a tooth, or have we done that already? No, I don't think so.
No, I
You
don't
have?
think you have.
We haven't. Okay,
No.
so import generic, choose a tooth, this one there, delete, select this one and move this one into position. Excellent. So far, so good. I'll scale this up a little bit. All right, perfect so far. We can maybe angle this a little bit better, like that, to come out at a neat angle.
Yeah, your front tooth work was always very good, Michael. Eh?
Are you being are you being sarcastic? RX tilted a little bit like this. Okay, so it doesn't look exactly. We could cut this one out and mirror image it if we want to, or we can shape this one a little bit. I can go into edit mode and I can maybe pull this out a little bit, you know. So there's a lot we can do. You know, we don't. Okay. Okay, now that we've got that, I'm going to go and join it up to my implant component.
Did you put it into a
So
collection? I can't remember.
thanks for reminding me. But I did put an error coding in it so that the user is then flipped with an error code so that they can't proceed.
Good.
So which is quite good. So we're going to put this into the tooth collection, go down to the implant. Here's the implant. All right, perfect. So far, so good. Okay, this one, I haven't, yeah, this is very important that we always put these into the correct collections. Otherwise, we can't hide them really well. We can, but it's better if they are in the collections where they should be. Like here now, I can just hide it if I want to, and I can hide this tooth. Okay, let's hide this tooth. Select this and make our little shape. We're going to leave that at the 1.2 mark and we're going to accept this. Excellent. Now we can fuse them together. So we can take our restoration over here and we can decide, okay, well, you know what, I'm going to, as a general rule, we'd like to get the mesh inside the actual, this little blue zone, okay?
So into close proximity of it.
Yeah, just sort of, oh, okay, when this happens, you've forgotten the magnet, okay? So it would then adhere to any surface, okay? So we're going to just scale this, scale like that. That's good enough. That's super cool. And we're going to then join them up, okay? Generate implant fixture. Excellent, perfect. And then we can smooth it down, smooth. Super. Okay, perfect. Now we need that hole, okay? Now, this can be a little bit tricky if we're not used to it and how it works. Best thing is we're going to transparent mode, okay? This blue one is a spare abutment so that we can do this over and over again. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hide this to show you guys how this works. Okay, we've got our inside cavity. We're going to take this and move this one up. So if I hide this tooth, for example, we need to bring this down round about here. Then what we need to do is we need to angle this. And this is what this thing is all about, okay? This one will allow us to angle it without using the, RX or whatever, okay? So Wolfgang, how far can we angle this one?
A whole 25 degrees. Can you imagine that?
25 degrees.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are looking at the moment, we're looking at 10 degrees. Okay, so let's angle this a bit more, that it comes out of the palatal. Okay, it's 17 degrees. Okay, that's perfect. So we've checked that it comes out at that angle. Now what we need to do is we need to do something, and we've got this in our video tutorials on how to do this. I will just briefly explain what's happening. So here, not the ruler, I need this one here. What we're looking at is we want this rim. We want this rim to be visual. So this must be a visual rim.
So you have to clear, you've got to absolutely make certain that you clear all the mesh surrounding that. Otherwise that screw's got no chance of going down the chamber.
Correct, Wolfgang. That's good. So what I can do is I can scale it out a little bit. Okay, it's 17 degrees. Then what we're going to do, we're going to go in edit mode, and I'm going to take this one, and we're going to move this outwards a little bit. So I'm going to use the G key. Proportional editing is on, and we're going to move this out a little bit.
And you've turned
like
the
this.
magnet off here, I see.
Yes. Okay. So we're getting a rim going all the way around, and it's very easy to create this rim. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a G key as well, like this a little bit, and that's good enough because any screw is then going to be able to go in there quite easily. Okay, object mode. Okay, and let's go, and we're going to take this one and cut it. Okay, so in the crown module, okay, and cut it. Excellent. So this is our spare one. We can see how this hole looks. Okay, so if I would bring in a screw, okay, so let's bring in a screw. Okay, so in the components module, here's a screw. This one's a screw, and we are looking at this screw over here.
Yeah, that's a special
pin.
screw that you need for this part, and it comes with a special driver as well.
It's very interesting, Wolf, because of the angles. I actually had a really close look at it, and I've actually animated it. And this angle is the key to it actually going in. Did you know that?
Yeah. I saw that on the video, on the tutorial that I slaved.
Okay, so select my destination, match position to destination, and that should be in here, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in it. All right, so in transparent mode, when I look at this, and I have noticed that this screw, the point of origin is not 100% right. Okay, and Wolfgang, if you look at this very carefully, no, here, this one you can't see it.
Yeah.
Okay, here.
I actually got an email from them today. I think it's about this.
Really?
Hmm.
It was like this. Do you notice?
Yeah.
it's meant to be like this. Okay.
Yeah. Although having said that, the screw in the digital environment is only, something nice to look at.
It's aesthetic. We don't use it. We don't use it at all. So it's, it's so okay. So if we would theoretically bring this one out, it would go up to about here, like this, and then it would rotate, and then it would go up, and it would
Yeah.
rotate, all the way, and then
Yeah.
out it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. Okay, good. How
So
much time is left?
can you just show us here? We've got this BOPT way of cutting tooth preps, and the gum needs to be relaxed and all that. Can you shape the bottom bit of that tooth neck with the scan that we have?
What are you talking about? This neck here?
Yeah. Can you make a cross section of the model and then just use the deflate to actually reshape the neck? Because I've had so many questions on the gum emergence profile to follow the gingiva as it is.
Well, but that's quite easy to do because we can sculpt it, isn't it? Isn't
Yeah,
that
that's
what you're
what I
talking
have
about?
in mind. So if you just use the deflate and then just bring it back.
Okay, so we've got this one over here. Unfortunately, this implant wasn't, you know, could have been a bit deeper, I think, because you can actually see it. So
Yeah, okay.
aesthetically,
Okay.
it's not so cool. But maybe on the lingual, on the palatal side. So if we go,
Yeah,
you
or
know,
interproximally as well.
so this is very similar to what we did earlier. Look here how how it protrudes through the. I'll actually give this a color. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we
it's
can
it's
actually.
blanching the gum there. So, with a bit of, it might not be that easy to fit. I don't know.
Yeah, but this is where we sculpt straight through it.
Yeah.
So we go to our implant crowns, and then we just use a sculpting tool, and that's about it. And in the lab we would take a burr or something. Do you know what I
That's
mean?
right. That's right.
All right. So okay, inflate and deflate. Take this and push it inwards like that. Push
Yeah.
it. So we're pushing it all the way
So
until
just a
we
question
don't.
here, because we inflate, deflate with protection. How far can you go with this? Will the protection layer kick in and say, okay, you can't go further than that, or
Yeah, you'll sooner or later you're going to hit the
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 gray?
other side.
Yeah.
You would hit the gray.
Well,
Yes.
so it's really up to the user to make sure the measurements, maybe make a cross section, make sure it doesn't go too thin there.
Yeah, so look, we've done that, and then we could bulge it out here, for instance, if you wanted to. So it's very flexible. All we need to do is use the Alt B all the time, and
Yeah.
then we can actually we can see through where we need to press it or whatever. Now, of course, there are contacts there that need to still be done because we haven't done the contacts right,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's where we go back into the crown module, and then we would then cut our contacts. So we'd go here and we'd start cutting them, and we'd go like over like this.
So at a 45 or at an angle, so, you're taking that surface.
Yeah. So we've created one surface, and then we're going to create another one, and then we're going to just survey that. Bring that through there like that.
Wow. So now you're working backwards because, this is usually something you do in the very beginning.
Yes. Yeah. That's right. Okay, so that's that. So we're going to create the surface. And now when we survey, we are only surveying the context because we don't have any other surfaces to survey. Okay, so we're going to just go survey surfaces, and now we see everything because we've worked right. We should have done that right in the beginning. Then we wouldn't see all this stuff going on.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to rotate it sort of, and the crown, the implant crown won't budge. It's only these two. You can hide this if you want to, but it's quite, I mean, it's very easy to see what's going on. And we've explained this in a video of how these contacts, how we survey these things. So we're going to block that out. Okay. So now that it's been blocked out, we will then take this one and this one, and we're going to name this upper context. Then what we're going to do is we're going to create our blocked out models for these. Okay, so I'm just going to go auto cutter, make an auto cutter for these contacts. Okay, I'm going to select my implant crown, and we're going to shape the contacts. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to hide the model. So if we didn't put that into the collections, we couldn't so easily find what we need to look for. Do you know what I mean, Wolf?
Yeah, I love this part because you can really control, the contact area. I've worked for a client that always wanted very broad contacts, and this is pretty awesome, I think.
So we're going to cut this, and then we're going to smooth that with protection. And here I'll just smooth this bump. Now we don't want to get rid of all of our hard work, so don't push it too far in. It is good to have it concave. Some of my clients have always wanted never wanted a concave contact, but this is, again, it's up to the designer or whatever, or what you want to do with that. Okay, so we're going to exit this.
Yeah, I can actually see on the tooth neck how you've pushed the gum out. The profile, the morphology of the tooth is slightly indented there.
Yeah, that's correct.
There on
Yeah,
the
that's
mesial side.
yeah, over here.
Yeah,
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 over
yeah,
there.
yeah,
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I think this went pretty well, I think.
yeah.
And then
Pretty
we'd
good.
exp
Can
we
you
would
can you
then
just show how
export
to
this.
export this thing?
Yeah, okay. So what we need to do is we need to go all the way to the bottom, finish restoration, which will duplicate this specific one. It'll make sure that there's no manifold edges or anything. And then what we're going to do is we're going to click on export. Now, I believe it needs to always face upwards, I think. Um, I
Yeah,
think what we need to do is we need to put an arrow in there. I think I was told the surface has to be upwards. So I'm going to rotate it upwards like this. And then we're going to, I've got to get clarification with that. Maybe we put an arrow in there so users know which way it should be facing. And then we're going to export, and then STL file, and then blah, 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 export that, and then off to the print house.